Tiers, welcome to another episode of Aaron at the Fly Desk. We are going to tie one of my favorite flies today, and this one is what we call Easton's Magic. When I was in college, I was tying flies and selling them to one of our local fly shops, and I was just sitting at the fly desk wondering what I could tie really fast that would catch a lot of fish. We just had our first child. I named him Easton, and so I called this fly Easton's Magic. And really all Easton's Magic is it's a leech pattern, but we use some type of sparkle dubbing on them, and then just marabou for the tail. Super simple. You can put some flashabou in the tail if you want. I have found it's effective either way. And it was a quick fly that I could tie a lot of, but it was super effective. And so I would consider this more of a beginner fly, but a lot of the experts use flies just like this. So let's get started. Today we're tying on a size 10 Daiichi 1270 curved nymph hook, and then I put a 1/8 tungsten black bead on it. You can tie these in an egg sucking pattern and put like an orange bead on it, or no bead at all, and put some lead here on the shank of the hook. When I do use lead on this, I'll put the lead on the front half of the fly, and it gives it a little bit better movement in the water. So with this fly, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out a nice fluffy piece of marabou. And what I like to do is I don't like to use the top part as much as I do this little fluffy stuff. So I'm going to show you how we make that look nice and natural. So I'll cut a chunk of it off, and you can see this tail's super long. I've had way more success making my tails not much longer than the shank of the hook, or the sides of the hook. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to lay my marabou all the way up to the bead, and I'm going to wrap back just where this starts to dip down, so my body's going to have a little bit of a curve to it. A lot of guys will leave the tail super long. I find you get a lot of short strikes and the fish are a little harder to hook. So what I like to do is I like to take my marabou, never cut it, because then you get kind of a fake look and it doesn't look as good in the water. But I like to just hold it and then break it with my fingers, and then come through here and just kind of break little pieces around. And what that does is it gives it more of a fluffy look and not just a straight sharp cut, but it gives it a more natural fluffy look to the fly, and it looks a lot better in the water. So we are using some Danville 3/0 waxed, pre-waxed monocord. So I found we don't need to get complicated with our dubbing loops and all that stuff. This fly, I got to where I could tie it in under 2 minutes, and so I could tie a bunch of these and sell them and help pay for college. Those were good times. So you can see I just lay it along the thread, and I just roll it on the thread. Now it's important to watch your taper, so as I am running this up, I'm putting a little bit at the back, and then it gets more and more thick towards the front. Now what I like to do here is, you'll find when you're using bead heads, a lot of times after a few fish, they kind of pull the material back and this bead starts to free spin and the fly comes apart. So what I like to do is, before I wrap all the way to the top of the bead, I like to get a little bit of super glue and just drop it in there right behind the bead. A little notch there. And then I put some more dubbing on. And then I like to wrap it and pack it in there over the top of that super glue. And so what that does is it kind of cements it in there so that that bead then hardens with the super glue and it's less likely to come apart and spin on you. So once we get to that point, we're just going to whip finish it. Throw one more on there. Now when I was in college, I would just end it at this and sell it and people would catch fish. But I've got a little more meticulous over the years. And so what I like to do at this point is get just a nice little crafting wire brush. And then I like to brush out my dubbing. And that gives it just a really nice buggy look when it's going through the water. So as I've tied these over the years, you can use a lot of different colors of dubbing, kind of get the same effect. This is one we like that's by Hairline. It's called Ice Dub and Peacock. That one works really good. We tie them in black, olive, a wine color, brown color, and this sparkle dubbing, fish really like it. They respond well to it. And like I've said on previous videos, flies like this are nice because you can catch bass, trout, bluegill, whatever you want, because it imitates either leech or minnow running through the water. One of the ways we've found fish in these that's very effective is when you cast it out, I do 3 quick strips, just 1, 2, 3, you know, about 6-inch, just quick strips, and then I stop and wait about 3 seconds, and then I'll do it again, stop and wait, do it again, stop and wait. And I don't know what it is about those 3 quick strips and then stopping and waiting, but most of the time they'll pick it up on the wait. I don't know if the quick strips trigger the fish's senses and they rush up to it, but as soon as we stop stripping, they'll usually pick it up. Another way we fish it is just super slow strips. My son, my 12-year-old son, he'll fish this in a float tube, and he just drags it along, just kicks slow, trolls it through the water. Does very well with this pattern. So hope you've enjoyed this video of a simple but effective and deadly fly called the Easton's Magic, and we hope to see you on the water someday. Thank you for watching.